The proposal to create a country called Novorossiya, New Russia, arises from deep historical and cultural divisions within Ukraine's eastern and southern regions. Supporters of the idea argue that these areas, with their strong Russian-speaking identity and historical ties to the Russian Empire, have long felt detached from Ukraine's national narrative. From this standpoint, the people in those regions should have the right to determine their own political future, including the possibility of separating from Ukraine to form a new state if they so choose. Proponents of this view see the cultural and linguistic divide as more than a matter of language. It represents a difference in identity, worldview, and historical allegiance. Many residents of the proposed Novorossiya territories consider themselves closer to Russian civilization than to Ukrainian nationalism, which has grown stronger since the early 1990s. The post-Soviet years saw increasing tension between Kyiv's efforts to strengthen Ukrainian national identity and the eastern regions' continued affinity with Russian traditions. As a result, these communities often feel politically alienated and socially disconnected from the rest of the country. From this perspective, the right to self-determination becomes a central issue. If a population no longer identifies with the state it belongs to and desires to form its own government, it can be argued that this choice should be respected rather than suppressed. Supporters of Novorossiya believed that independence or union with Russia would allow the region to better preserve its culture, language, and economic interests. They also view Ukraine's resistance to this idea as an attempt to impose a singular national identity on a culturally diverse population. Opponents of the proposal argue that such a separation would undermine Ukraine's sovereignty and international law. Yet from this particular standpoint, forcing regions to remain under a government with which they no longer identify only fuels further division and resentment. Stability, they argue, comes not from imposed unity, but from respecting the will of the people who inhabit a given land. In this view, the creation of Novorossiya is not an act of aggression, but an exercise of choice. Those who advocate for it see it as a path toward cultural and political self-expression, granting a detached population the freedom to shape its own destiny. Whether or not the world recognizes such a state, the principle remains. People who feel fundamentally separate from a nation's identity should have the right to seek a future that aligns with their own heritage and sense of belonging.